these two.
Overwhelmingly in favor of Wang CHUQIN in all competitions. 10 wins to his name, 2 for Harimoto. It'd be a big upset if Harimoto were to power past Wang CHUQIN in this one.
Dribbbles the racket to put the red on the forehand for that high lob. Watch the color on the racket of Wang CHUQIN here as soon as he realizes he's got a lot of time. Black on the back edge, whittles back just in case.
Harimoto, that trademark scream, perhaps it was drowned out by the crowd, but every point he celebrates with a huge roar. Didn't make much of an impact with it that time though, the noise of the crowd just drowning everything out.
It's funny how everything's relative. The crowd likes it. Good, I'm happy they got to hear it this time around. It's going to throw some more fuel in the fire for them to support the local favorite. Full commitment on the step around short side of the table. That's just so dangerous. How can you predict that it's coming there, and how could you possibly cover it?
3-all. The crowd seemed to find Harimoto's celebration amusing, almost.
Good. It is, especially if you haven't seen it before. I mean, we've been in the game for some time. We've heard Tomokazu for years and years, so it's not surprising for us, but a lot of new fans in the stadium. I think this is actually good evidence of that as well, and I like it. Their favorite player, the one they're rooting for, won the point, so they cheered. Certain parts of the world you won't see that off a net or an edge.
That was just sublime, the way Wang CHUQIN covered so much ground there.
Yeah, he's fast on his feet, wide stance, full step around, commitment in the inside-out forehand, just a little bend for that wide angle. Still, he's only up by 2.
Let 5-3.
Tenth little rally, and Harimoto lands the killer blow, perfectly timed.
To open with this backhand and sneak it past on the wide forehand. Left-handed players do like to step around a lot as they're used to playing right-handed players. That'll keep him honest. Little net for the second to last shot for Tomokazu, but an outstanding rally, and suddenly they're leveled. It's been a receiver's last several points. The pace, that was the net ball. Wang CHUQIN with a good recovery, but immediately had to be put into defensive mode. Timing changed.
5-6.
Both of these players have been quick to get into the rally. Not a lot of short touch in these rallies, not a lot of short game. Pressure quick into the backhand, one on the elbow, and he goes wider to the backhand. That last ball would have gone off the side of the table. Harimoto taking his chances here. He's going to have to play a high-risk game, especially considering his head-to-head overall WTT, whatever it may be. He knows he's the underdog and has to take some chances.
7-6. Players, play on.
goes for broke, leaves the whole table open. And Tomokazu says, don't mind if I do. That's how confident he is in his forehand. When he hits it hard, it's rare that it comes back. Especially on the one where he turns the corner and gets his whole body behind it. But Tomokazu in front now. Yes, it's a best of
ビーチで休暇をエンジョイしましょう。トリップ.com で期待を超える旅を。
忙しい朝に朝からフルーツ。朝から手軽に。朝からそのまま。
All of these right behind those shots, moving 2 points clear as we edge towards the end of this opening game.
The weight is a lot. He's a lot of muscle. He's bulked up in the last several years. I haven't tried to carry him in about 5. I don't dare to be honest. Net recovery early on in the rally here. Here's one. Tomo behind the table with some strong backhands. A little acknowledgement of the fortune there on that last ball for Wang CHUQIN as it slows way down off the top of the net, it appeared.
Harimoto was 2 points ahead, wanted that game point. Wang CHUQIN with other ideas. What shot placement?
Yeah, this was incredible wherewithal to recognize that his opponent was taking the backhand from the backhand corner, and he quickly went parallel to exploit the opportunity. Short rally, quick decision pays off.
The anguish
9-10.
on world number 4's face as he knows he should have done better with that one.
But the serve drifted just a little bit long and gave enough room for Wang CHUQIN to open to set up game point.
He pushes it into the net. Harimoto with a lifeline now.
Change of serve here, Harimoto. Keeps it shorter, invests in a little more spin, but keeps it subtle. Alternating serves now until one player has a 2-point lead for the game.
Second game point for the world number 4. Look at the celebrations as Harimoto wraps up the opener. He's celebrating as though he's won the match. It was his first game point. It was hard to keep up with all the switches and momentum in the closing stages of that one, but let's take another look at Harimoto's winning point here.
Yeah, 3 straight points from down 9-10, saves a game point, captures his first.
しかもちょっとシュート入ってたからやっぱやりやすいショートだとかジュニアですからそうしてくれないから松島ほど速くないしショートが遅くないから中くらいで続いていくから今位置いいじゃんめっちゃチキ出してガンとか相手のチキ出してゆっくりガンでラリーまで 5,6 球までいけば勝てるからでもその 5,6 球まで自分でちょっとガッと強くいかなきゃダメだまずちょっとラリーしよう
中间这边就是我实在不行我还是反手过来是太厉害了啊发球的落下
Well, there's a look at the champions of the last 6 months. We can see, of course, Wang CHUQIN, champion in Fukuoka, and of course, who did he meet there en route to the title? None other than Tomokazu Harimoto, himself with the title. He was late this year, winning that star contender in Doha in January.
Second game, Harimoto to serve. Love all. No flash, please. No flash, please.
Our umpire just pointing out some camera flashes in the crowd. These players can't afford any distractions with the margins they're are so fine here. This is game 2 now.
Love 1.
Also, the Infinity Arena really shines a light right on the table, nothing else. So a flash in a dark crowd stands out like a sore thumb.
Oh, what a point from Harimoto.
1-0.
Just absorbing that aggression from Wang CHUQIN, everything coming back with interest. Wang CHUQIN just unable to penetrate that defense.
You hit the nail right on the head. He does add topspin, so that with interest factor, racket high, it's conservative play, but it's still enough from Tomo.
Let 1-0.
I love that casual back into the table receive when it's a let serve. Just shows that he's cool, he's not nervy.
2-1.
CHUQIN does a good job to patiently earn the opportunity here, converting both of his serves to get the lead early on.
1-4.
No point one on serve for Harimoto there. Wang CHUQIN takes it early. That was just so casual.
Yeah, his backhand inside the table, I think a lot of people forget about because the rest of his game is so strong too.
Let 1-4. 5-1.
The first tie break here, this is quite a different scoreline, at least in terms of where it ended up in game 1. This is Wang CHUQIN saying, I'm going to leave nothing to chance. Preparation, that's what he does.
Anguish for Harimoto, failing to connect and sending that ball wide.
We've got to credit Wang CHUQIN here for taking side spin off this serve. It looked like heavy side spin. If it was, the ball would have curved back onto the table on touch.
2-6.
Too much on the backhand flick, and now it's Wang CHUQIN who looks anguished.
Well, Tomo does a good job controlling the short game here, keeping it nice and soft, low enough.
Let's play on.
I like it. I like when they both.
モンスト鈴木俺の手はとっくに汚れてるんだよそれでも向かってくるならか
Stroke of good luck there for Wang CHUQIN with that ball just bobbling over the net in his favor. Harimoto just a split second before he was able to react to that.
Most one-sided game we've seen so far, and in the best of 7, the way things are looking right now, we've got a long way to go in this match. Some serious momentum from a man who's quite decisive when the attack comes his way, when the opportunity to attack comes his way.
Yeah, 6 out of the last 8 points have gone his way, so we'll make that 7 of 9. And 7 game points this for the world number 2 to level up here.
I think we're going to see more of this throughout the match from Tomokazu. Arcing shots that are pace changers. The difference in trajectory here, that's heavy spin, it's a little shallow. Wang CHUQIN, you could feel, had to slow himself down to time that right.
That's 2 game points that Harimoto has managed to fend off.
10-5.
timing there to turn and play the forehand from the elbow. Again, very precise shot from Wang CHUQIN. Tomo getting through it, breaking the handcuffs.
Decisive from Wang CHUQIN. Third time lucky, wraps that one up. 11 points to 5 to level in this semi-final. A more lopsided game. What do you think the difference was there? The first one so close, 12 points to 10 for HARIMOTO. This one a lot more decisive.
Well, it's almost like you said. I feel like Wang CHUQIN as an individual was
他
simply
该出有出手了，
decisive.
对吧？偶尔有一两个无人失误是没关系的啊。再一个呢，他发的基本全是小转不转，你死转的问题，这个问题。啊，有的时候我说他板完你看，他一个人回你，再可能你打手长，这是。而且凡是真给个正手，他们拉着你或者你支着他的时候，持住就行，对吧？他就这质量了，你加力有机会了，我给他。
ストップだけだと逆につつかれてこっち持ち上げたら上からカーンって来られちゃうから、その大きい展開作ってる時にちょっと入れながら。
HARIMOTO, of course, had a
ロングサーブちょっとまあ
fantastic
使ってないから
opening game, wrapping it up 12 points to 10. Some real moments of brilliance in
今のところあい
him
つ
from
フォアマンが
the
これで
world
バックマン今
number
待ってたじゃん。以上。
4. He edged a tight opening game, and let's have a little look at some of his best bits from the opener. Players back out at the table, ready to resume game 3 with this semi-final poised at a game apiece. Wang CHUQIN to get us back underway.
One love.
Good response to this long serve coming in. First point, long serve surprising. And patiently receiving Tomo right there at the baseline.
1-2. Let 1-2.
Subtle use of the in and out game. You can see Wang CHUQIN just reaching forward there. Didn't have time to adjust and move the feet to recognize.
Let 2-0.
That was a blink and you'll miss it kind of shot. Look at the speed with which Wang CHUQIN strikes that ball.
The serve is so strong and tough to receive. He gets a third ball, still not an easy one, but inside the table, following the serve well.
3-0.
This is gutsy play. Tomo's moving it around the table very well. I think in game number 1, we enjoyed some of those highlights just a moment ago. He was very quick to react. He kept the racket high. And as you mentioned earlier, added interest, added topspin in the blocking game.
Let HARIMOTO back toss. Not vertical. Not vertical. 3-0.
I love it. He wanted to make sure he was super clear on which direction the verticality was questioned.
3-4.
No more than 30 degrees off of straight up is the rule for what nearly vertical means in numbers.
5-3.
HARIMOTO just pushes long Wang CHUQIN. Marginal lead for now. Can HARIMOTO claw his way back into this one? It's certainly shaping up to be a fascinating final between these two contrasting players.
5-4.
Semi-final match here, but as tight as can be in game number 3. It's not the first time we've seen him commit to stepping around that backhand corner, and Tomo with the racket high, finding the opposite side of the table. Doppler effect. Just the grunt's getting quieter and quieter as if he's moving away simply because the energy is taken out as Wang CHUQIN brings everything back. But this time very present. Every shot had the same amount of energy, at least by decibels. This is why he's been hitting the weight room since he was a young teenager, so that he can be in position, regain his balance, and counter these shots.
7-5.
He's no stranger to left.
ポイントをお得に貯めるなら PayPay。今すぐ始めよう。
物を捨てるの罪悪感、ちょっとしたお小遣いが欲しい、簡単に片付けたい。そんなあなたはメルカリ。
Beat Maolong at 14, Zhang Jike as well.
7-5.
From Wang CHUQIN, you could see what the plan was from Harimoto, but Wang CHUQIN had the answers.
Yeah, he's quick to react here. Tomo goes defensively, plays the soft shot. And as soon as he holds it up, he's a little deep on the table. The crowd loves the replay. Wang CHUQIN does not hesitate, leaps and lunges forward to catch that before it drops.
Well, failing to connect that time, and Wang CHUQIN establishes a 4-point lead now.
Good angle on this one, taking his chances. The serve sets it up nicely. Wang CHUQIN changing his mind instead of flicking there with the backhand. Harimoto taking full advantage of that push.
Wang CHUQIN brings up 4 game points. Harimoto just failing to connect. That was a tricky, tricky ball from the world number 2.
Yeah, he had to take his chances there.
By what they saw in that rally, and gasping even more so in delight as their favourite Wang CHUQIN, home hero, goes 2 games to 1 up in this semi-final. 11 points to 6 in the third, backing up his 11 points to 5 win in game 2.
Yeah, he's getting stronger as he goes. He's finding variation in the game. That Lionheart spirit that has him all over the court.
反手我拉的够了，反手拉到他的大手拉提高点，你就凑合给他架起来就行了嘛。架起来之后有机会把快吃的一个反手就行了，不用这种加体了，有点速度就可以了。啊，发球非常好，有这种长的，他现在有点意识要往你中间这种去拧了。
There.
4th game,
2 more games.
Harimoto to serve, level.
He'll find himself in this afternoon's final. It's what the crowd want, this 10,000 strong Infinity Arena. But the screams that Harimoto emits when he wins a point, well, it's not quite enough to rival 10,000 fans, but he tries his best in terms of the noise levels.
I don't know if the math is perfect here, but I'd guess if there were about 800 Tomokazus in the crowd with his roar, it might equal the 10,000 that are here for Wang CHUQIN. Something like that. Wang CHUQIN just got in so early for that backhand. Again, lack of hesitation.
He got in early with that one as well.
That's exactly right. He's just making decisions so quickly, and it's affording him that much more time for a high-quality shot and a recovery.
Huge forehand from Wang CHUQIN, just so good.
1-3.
He was deep in that backhand corner. It took him a long way to get there. One more backhand, makes his move a little early and brushes the inside of the ball. This is too pretty. Untouchable. Wang Hao, man, electric seat.
1-4.
A little fortune as well after that devastating forehand.
12 of the last 16 points have gone in favor then of the world number 2.
5-1.
13 of the last 17.
The touch on the push keeps Harimoto off the attack. Wang CHUQIN's really calibrated his game with the rotation and the mix of spins coming in. Tomokazu's varied it quite well, but Wang CHUQIN hasn't been so bothered.
The head and frustration from Harimoto, just struggling to read that shot from Wang CHUQIN. He's just so tricky.
To me, it feels like Tomokazu just has to take his chances, even if he reads it right. He's just trying to play a little bit out of his comfort zone, take his chances, which is exactly what he has to do.
2-7.
And even with all that heavy backspin, it's not that he can't keep it out of the net, it's that he has to do it without it being too high.
7-3.
CHUQIN left himself exposed there. Harimoto able to bounce, exploit that space on the table.
Yeah, it was a beautiful forehand flick to recognize that. Again, you've got one of the fastest players with one of the longest steps in the world, a guy who can reach just about anything. Very shallow ball that came into play. Harimoto, I think, was surprised himself that it came down. Never losing focus, Wang CHUQIN.
4-8.
He's chastising himself for that one. Tried to take it early, as we've seen him do, but just couldn't quite connect that time.
Both of these players trying to make it as uncomfortable for their opponent as possible, whether that's placement, spin, speed. Again, 4 different dials on this security lock, just so many factors to consider in a given moment.
Superb shot placement from Harimoto.
This fast exchange, power comes in, soft spin, and then he predicts, I would say. He knows the patterns. Says, I've got to take my chances and go wide. Hope that he pivots.
9-5.
It's the most frustrated we've seen Harimoto in quite some time because he earned himself the opportunity. He's made tougher shots. That last one, you could see the arc, just a bit of spin, as if to say, why? This wasn't the time for the spin. I have...
Messi, gran Kitty, tira al centro, dispara, golazo!
最新トレンドをチェック。トリップドットコム頼りになる旅のパートナー。
5 game points now. He wraps this up. He's a single game away from a place in the final. Points to 5. It is 3 games to 1 now to Wang CHUQIN, world number 2. in cruise control now in this semi-final, making life very difficult indeed for Harimoto. We've seen he's an expressive player, but he's really making his frustrations known out there.
Wang CHUQIN showing his adaptability. Remember, he was beaten in game number 1. For anyone in the world, when you're down, it's extra pressure.
偶尔再飞这个直线，这下他就是有可能会起来，或者他再拉你正手的时候，我这下再手就把指导又给护住了。啊，有的时候你这他是没办法让你逼的，只能在这靠，只能在这靠，对不对？自己再加整就该失误了，这个没必要，对吧？啊，现在整体现在非常好啊，就注意他这种乱变，注意有还是要盯细详细，跟他一样抠细，你这个一分一分还是按这种平衡就是打，一分一分这种抠细。
Another look behind the scenes at the practice hall. That is Lin Shidong, world number 1. He's next up in action against that man there, Liang Jingkun. All China semi-final. Whoever makes their way to the final from this one, Harimoto versus Wang, will be playing either Lin Shidong or Liang Jingkun. So that is the last 4 men standing in this one. But as things stand, Harimoto is under pressure. He has got a lot of ground to make up with that man there. Wang CHUQIN 3 games to 1 up in this best of 7. 1 game away from a place in the final. And what a start for Wang CHUQIN. He's right now on his feet. It takes a lot to get that man up and cheering, but he's been up and down like a jack in a box.
Players, play on.
We have to remember the context here. Tomokazu Harimoto has been one of very few as a great threat to Team China. Alexi Wang, the best record in the world of anyone outside of Team China against Chinese players. For a long time now, Tomokazu's been beating world number 1s. 2018, beat 2 world champions. Both of them stars from China. They have closed training camps to study the games with faces on the wall to make sure that they know exactly how to play opponents, especially someone who's caused damage before. That ball barely made a sound off the racket. He brushed it. It was such a spinny shot. Security on the short side for a point, just to tie it up.
Harimoto in a must-win game in this, the 5th. What will the approach need to be from Japan's number 1?
Well, 1 is going to be get back for every ball, but 2 is going to be take your chances like this. So it's half of the battle here. He makes a quality shot on the step round. We've seen Wang CHUQIN do it a few times, but here he shakes his head. He knows that by going deep to the backhand, it wouldn't catch him in the crossover and leaves him exposed for the wide angle cross court. Changing it up on the serve just to mix things up a bit.
Just so good. 3-4. Incredible angles. What a shot this was from Wang CHUQIN. Just off the edge of the table.
And a timeout here. Even though he steps back just 1 step, Wang CHUQIN holds the racket way out in front as if he's closer to the table to earn that angle and put more time pressure on Tomokazu.
レシーブめっちゃいいや今のシェードの質とかちょっと速いのゆっくりちょっと縦くっついたりさっきのくっつきめっちゃ良すぎてこうなっちゃっただけだからあいつもいいよ別に今みたいなレシーブ抜き出した方がいいからね浮いたやつどうせ戻れなかったら浮いして戻れるようにした方がいいそれかもう落としてクイってフォアにやるとかさバックマジ手堅いじゃんこいつちょっとだけ高いからバック行くんじゃなくて高いけど落としてちょっとコース変えるとかさ少しちょっとコースは考えても変えた方がいいかもしれないいいよでも今みたいにフォアからサーブ出したりとかちょいちょいやってでバック前もこれやられるじゃんだったらちょっとバックに少し長めのサーブ出すとかさちょっと何かしら別に変えてもずっとここだけにならないようにちょっと台上工夫して出ていいよ台上の工夫とコースとボールのちょっと質とチキンの垂れ高しのバックもちょっと入れてもいいかもしれない、サーブ出したらフォア回すチキンだからフォア回ったら悪くないけどと思ってるねそうなん試合もっと強くよはいついてくよまだまだ
Some words of encouragement then for Tomokazu Harimoto, forced into calling the timeout in this must-win game. Just the opening stages though, but clearly he wants to make sure that Wang CHUQIN doesn't get any momentum going now in this one.
Right, sounded like subtle adjustments from Kunihito Tase, reminders to use the backhand, get ready for the ball to come back again, and Tomo suggesting maybe that he can depend on his backhand and cover the wide forehand more. And I think that is just the right way to think about it. He's been exploited on that wide forehand a few times. The ball's come back after some powerful shots. Sometimes it's efficiency, and you just have to hang in there for a few more shots to win the point.
Left. Inside table. 5-3.
So I imagine it's interesting. The toss must be tossed behind the table, must be contacted behind the table. So I'm not sure if it was the toss or the contact. Either way, a service warning on both sides now. They've both had their warnings. Should they offend again, it would cost them a point, most likely. Umpires do not have to give a warning, but they tend to. They're courteous, polite people.
Well, it's much better from Harimoto. First point won since his timeout.
And it's with the backhand, using the legs there to power into it.
You can see that he's encouraged now. Harimoto looks more confident, having got those 2 consecutive points.
Yeah, good side spin there, the Chiquita opening. Side and top spin, the backhand inside the table.
Harimoto draws level, how about this?
The way he did it in this last point is very telling for me that Wang CHUQIN has to get his head in the right place, which is a rare thing for me to say because it almost always is. But Harimoto was falling back, 2 arcing shots. It's challenging when someone hits these spinny arcing shots as opposed to the forward drives. Tomokazu's not going to be able to depend on that, but he's being adaptable and he's playing for every single shot.
Firmly in control in that rally. Harimoto almost looked a little off balance.
Right, for the second point in a row he was, but Wang CHUQIN's response, very on balance, closer to the table, and he plays with a little bit more, well, authority on those shots.
Plenty of authority with that winner as well. Wang CHUQIN re-establishes his lead. Having been pegged back to 6-all, he's now got his nose 2 points ahead. Harimoto now is going to need to dig deep. These two keep challenging the world number 2.
This combination play brings him in, baits him to the backhand on the forehand side and sends him right back to the backhand corner. Closer to the table, Harimoto needs to be there. Wang CHUQIN quickly found his focus.
Big points coming up now for Harimoto, with Wang CHUQIN closing in on match point.
Suzuki, 俺の手はとっくに汚れてるんだよ。それでも向かってくるなら構わない。
Got what it takes, but it's a question of if he'll be able to bring it and if Wang CHUQIN will struggle in any way.
No such struggle there. What a way to bring up match points. Cool as you like for Wang CHUQIN.
There was a moment, one shot, this one here, that it was shallow, and Tomokazu wasn't able to make his way back into the table. A very uncomfortable ball. Wang CHUQIN quickly jumping on the next for the win.
Wang CHUQIN dispatches Tomokazu Harimoto 4 games to 1 to seal his place in the finals in Chongqing. It was a valiant effort from a fighting Harimoto, but Wang CHUQIN cool